Yeah, I'm live. And no one's watching. It's okay. It's completely alright. Hi, Sienna. What's up? What's up, people? I'm bored. I'm just like, hey, what's going on? And I thought I would just jump on here and say hello. See how everybody's doing. How's London? Loves Ronnie Neza. Hey, notice me. Yeah. What's up, Eric? How's it going, man? We never have ever played basketball. It pains my heart, dude. Some point in life, we're gonna connect and end up playing basketball. Eric Pretzel. So, yeah. Just chilling out, hanging out here, last day in London. So, yeah, how's everybody doing? Okay, so first of all, where's everybody from? Just tell me where you're from. I just want to know where people are from. What's up, Phoebix? Phoebix, shout out. So, I'm from Manchester. Seriously, love your daughters and you. Just be honest. You love Veronica and Vanessa better. It's fine. That's totally fine. Weird Merrell, hey. Shout out. Love from the Philippines. Little Flower Z. That's cool. Shout out Merrell Twins X. Macon Garcia, hey. How's it going? Germany. There's Oklahoma. That's cool. Skipton, England. Where is that? I'll have to look that up. UK Southwest. The Czech Republic. Manchester. Cool. Shout out to an English. Surviving the cold winter in Michigan. Cool. That's fun. So, yeah. I don't know if anybody follows my Qatar. North Carolina. Love Nasrani. Spain. Cool. Say my name, please. Lexicon Gould. I said your name. Arkansas. Cool. Georgia. Can you tell a dad joke? Yeah, I can. I don't know. I told a bunch of dad jokes the other day because I was like super bored on my Instagram story the other day. And yeah, so I don't really have a dad joke, but loaded. I just don't. But who in England, who has had this? Coleman's mustard. It's backwards, but this is some spicy mustard. I'm just saying, it's like really, really spicy. So yeah, I don't really have any jokes. Okay, this is funny though. So I bought this candy down in the thing. It's called Bear, and if you know what this is, fine. This candy right here. So I got this candy down in the gift shop in the hotel because it says it's all natural fruit, something like that, and it's Bear's Curious Quest. So I open it up, and it comes with this card. It's this round fruit. It's like a fruit roll-up, but like all natural stuff. So it comes with this card, and it says Bear's Curious Quest, and then it has a bear riding on a bicycle, and it says Penny. I thought it said Penny farting. See, look, it looks like it says Penny farting, but it's Penny farthing. I just thought it was funny because that's funny. So it's very nice. It's a very nice card. Yeah, it's really bad. So anyway, so yeah. We just came back from downtown London, and it was a real hard drive back. There's a joke for you, hard drive. So anyway, Can you say hi to the Merrell twins? Hi to the Merrell twins. I just said, I say hi to them all the time. So yeah. Hello. Do you ever want to go to Canada? I've actually been to Canada multiple times. I've been to Toronto. I've only been to Toronto, but I've been there multiple times. So there's a Space Needle. I call it Space Needle. It has a glass floor in it there. I've been to Gretzky's. Yeah, it's a great place. I love Canada. I love Toronto. There's 6 inches of snow here. Where? Please come to Washington. I've been to Washington. I'm doing good. I'm still super jet lagged. So it's like 9:53 here. I didn't get to bed till like 3 o'clock last night because I was just awake. And then I woke up at like 7 this morning. So will you ever come back to the Philippines? I would love to come back. We would all love to come back. You would win the best dad award in the world because you should win the best dad ever award because you're the best dad in the world. You know what? I'm not really the best dad in the world. I'm the best dad in the world to Veronica and Vanessa because that's who I am. But your dad, whoever your dad is, hopefully he's a good guy and he should be the best dad in your world. Where are the Merrell twins? They're packing. Are you coming to playlist? IDK. Cupcake cutie. Face. Laughing. Will Ronnie and Nesser ever want to do a meetup in Toronto? If we go there, yeah. When you all coming back home? We leave in the morning. Do you have another dad joke? Probably. I don't want to tell them all because, you know what? I can't. Here's the thing about showing. Yeah, I can't just tell all my dad jokes. At some point, I'm going to start doing dad jokes again on my channel, because, well, yeah, I should. Can you guys come to Michigan? I would love to. We were actually in Detroit not too long ago, but it was for a secret thing. Can you all ever do a meetup in Kansas City? We should do a meetup in Kansas City. It's just really, really hard because when we go back to Kansas City, there's so many people that we need to see and need to hang out with, and it's by the time we get around to doing a meet and greet, it's just really tough. Can you tell a joke? Can you tell a joke? I'm trying not to, because I'm saving all my jokes for my channel. I told some good ones the other day on my. Oh, I have one for you. I've been trying to tell a dad joke, but I'm just kind of coming up short. I guess I don't have an outlet. That was bad. See, they're bad because I'm just making stuff up here. So, my father-in-law's nickname is Pepe, and so when people ask me if I like my father-in-law, I'm like, yeah, Pepe C. Pepe C. It's really bad dad joke. It isn't even a good joke. It's just bad. Hello. No, they're not. Manchester. What's up? I have a lot of friends who love Manchester United as a team. I'm stumped. You know what's really weird? And this is true, actual truth. We've been here in London, and I cannot tell you how many Pauls I've met. Like, so many people are named Paul, and it's just been appalling. Yeah, but no, seriously, I did meet a lot of people named Paul. So, have you guys ever, if you've been to the UK, have you guys ever had this drink, Firefly? It's pretty good. It's pretty good. What do you call a bee that scares people a lot? A boobie. Can you say my name, please? Sabrina597. What's up? I live in England. Yes, it's pretty good, isn't it? Because Paul is a good name, and you're the best dad. Thank you. It's very nice of you. Come to New Orleans. I have been to New Orleans. The girls haven't been, but I've been multiple times. Middlesbrough, where's that? Do I know any German words? I do. I know a really good one. I'm going to say it. Pfaffenhugen. Doesn't that mean like something? I don't know what it means, but supposedly that's what it means. It's from a Volkswagen commercial here. Pfaffenhugen. Please notice me. I'm in England. Say my name. Ruby Bowling. I probably said it wrong. Can I tell some funny Merrell twins stories? Ooh, I could. But then I might get in trouble. So, I don't know. I don't know if I should tell any of those. Lithuania. I don't know how to say your name, but hi from Lithuania. All right. So what else would you guys like for me to do? Say, is a collab coming soon? Yeah, I mean, if you've seen anything that we've been doing the last few days, we've been hanging out with some people. So we've been shooting a few things. It's going to be really fun. Yeah. So here's the thing. Here's what I want to know. What is something that you need advice on from a dad? Advice from a dad. I'm going to give you some advice. So ask me a question that you need advice from a dad on, and I will do my best to answer it. All right. I've told a couple dad jokes. You know, I would tell some more, but I better not. It's a really bad joke. So ask a question. I don't know why there's not any YouTube. Actually, this was the first VidCon in the UK, by the way. How to get a girl. All right. This is good. So give me just a second. So how do you get a girl? Number one, never. Okay, first of all, you have to determine what type of girl you want, because there are girls that are, let's just say, a little more not so good, and there are girls that are amazing. So, first of all, evaluate if the girl you want to get is awesome and a good person, basically. And if she is a good person, then what you do is you, number one, don't stalk her. That's just bad. But you look for opportunities to talk to her, number one. And when you do talk to her, number one thing is to be yourself. Number one. Number two is to listen to her. And number three, compliment her shoes and the way her hair looks, and notice little things about her that make her beautiful to you. You know, and I can't promise anything, but it'll at least, get you talking to a girl. Guys, don't be afraid to talk to girls. It's just the bottom line. And number one, don't treat them as objects, ever. Ever, ever, ever treat a woman as an object. So there's some advice. Okay, next one. Who else? I saw one up here earlier. Let me see if I can go back and find it. I'm giving advice. I saw one earlier. I just don't want to miss it. Okay, so okay, Dad, how to confront your own masculinity in a way that's positive and ambitious, but also doesn't demean you to your peers. All right, so let's talk about, you're talking about toxic masculinity, which is a big buzzword. Basically, it's being just a really bad person. there's a lot of like connotations when people think of toxic masculinity. They instantly think of whatever, and they think it's a negative thing. And it is a negative thing, but it conjures up all kinds of things about masculinity. Toxic masculinity is not about not being a man. It's about treating others with respect, specifically women. And so you just got to know that there are a lot of guys out there, and I've dealt with it because it's interesting. I think most men will admit that they've been stupid at some point in their life. I've been stupid at some point in my life. But once you recognize and realize that the woman that you are addressing in a negative way is someone else's daughter, someone else's mom, someone else's wife, someone else's future wife. And when you start to do that, when you start to think of young ladies and women in those terms, you stop looking at them like they were pieces of meat. It's just the bottom line. And it changes your perspective. It really does. So I've literally said to people I've worked with, because I did some work with some guys on crews and sets and stuff, and they would just say the craziest things about women, and I just go, oh my gosh, do you not realize that that's someone's daughter you're talking about? I would never talk about your daughter that way. Why would you talk about someone else's daughter that way? And I've literally said that. I've literally confronted that many times in my life, and they literally do not know what to say. So, I don't know. It's a really, really tough thing. All you need to know is that make sure that you take care of yourself and that you are not doing that, period. So have some integrity. And if you said stuff to women that are inappropriate, that you've done certain things, go apologize and change. And ladies, if some guy comes up to you and apologizes and says, hey, I've been a jerk to you, forgive him. And if he does change, that's a very, very good thing. So there you go. That's some advice. It doesn't solve all the answers, but it's definitely a problem. It's been a problem for a very, very long time, and I'm glad it's being addressed. And men and other guys, if you hear someone standing up for women, you stand up for them too, right along with that guy. Support the other guys that are doing it, because that's what needs to happen. It's happened to Veronica Vanessa. I'm sure it's happened to many of the young ladies watching this. And there are good men out there that do stand up, but when we do stand up, other guys ridicule us and, call us all kinds of names and stuff. So other guys need to stand up for other guys when they are standing up against toxic masculinity and demeaning of women. So there you go. You got to do it. Do I use After Effects? Yes, I use After Effects a lot. It's a great thing. It's a great program. All right. Okay. How would someone start a YouTube channel for music but is scared of judgment? Okay, so YouTube and music. Music in general is the most critiqued art form there is, in my opinion, because everyone has opinions. And you just have to be really brave. You just have to not worry about what people say. Because here's what's really, really cool about music is that no matter what, you and you alone will sing or play a song that only you can do because your voice is unique. The style in which you play is unique. That's what makes music so cool. So, for example, there can be a lot of people that do covers of Ariana Grande. But Ariana Grande is the only one in the world who can sing like Ariana Grande. The good news is you are the only one in the world that can sing like you. So be yourself, be brave. You are going to get criticized because that's just the way it is. So be brave and just go for it. You just got to go for it. And do covers. Don't try to do original music right away. Start doing covers. It's the best thing. So, okay. What do I think about depression? I think depression is very, very real. I think I've had family members that suffer from really, really chronic depression, bipolar even, and I think all of us go through moments even during the day where we are depressed, right? I mean, there are seasons when we go through depressed, but let me be very clear about depression. When we say if it's clinical depression, that's where you literally physically cannot get out of bed. That you're just so down you cannot get out of bed, and you're so tired, you're so exhausted all the time. Being depressed about getting a bad grade might just be because it's your fault and you got a bad grade. There are things in life that will depress you. There are things that I'm dealing with that make me sad, that I have to deal with, but that is just life. Understand that life is not all rosy all the time. It's not. And what you see on Instagram and all of those things, that's not normal. I understand, my daughters are in the industry, and, we post fun pictures and all that stuff, but we deal with life, everyday life. We have to go to work. We have to go to school. I have to be up late editing videos. We have to take meetings. We have to, pay our bills, all of those things. And that is just life. And life at times can be hard and depressing, and it's work. And I think you have to be really, really careful to define depression. And if you feel like you're depressed, go talk to someone. Absolutely, 100%. But also do some self-evaluation and say, I'm dealing with some hard stuff when it comes to just normal life that can kind of start to weigh you down. And understand and know that there are many, many other people that are dealing with the same thing. Like, it's tough to go to school. It's hard to go to school. It's tough to learn. You have to grow. That's part of life. Part of learning is life. And so, don't give in quickly to saying you're depressed over something that's not all that significant, like a bad grade or like, just kind of some normal things in life. If you are really, really struggling beyond normal things, because there are normal things in life that can be depressing, if you cannot get over those things and you can't get out of bed, or you're dealing with thoughts that you should not be dealing with, go talk to someone right away today. There's people online, there's all kinds of counselors, there's all that kind of stuff. But I think you just need to really, really be able to be honest with yourself about life is hard. It can be hard. So I don't want to say just man up and get over it, because depression is very, very real. But it also is factored into just life. It happens on a daily basis, and maybe you need to talk to someone to get the tools to deal with that a little better, But there's a difference between depression that is I don't want to say normal, but a part of life, and then there is clinical depression that is really, 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 you can't get out of bed. You have crazy thoughts that you just cannot deal with. You need to talk to someone, a professional. I am not a professional, but I will tell you that I think there's a lot of it just that's very, very real. But don't let normal things confuse you. You know what I'm saying? So, all right, what else? How do you find new friends when you're shy? That's a good question. I'm going to say something to you that you need to hear. Being shy is not a bad thing. Period. Being shy is a character trait. And you know what? If there were more shy people in the world, we wouldn't have as many problems as we have right now. Shyness is not a weakness. Don't mistake that for a weakness. And friendship is important. It's a value. But I think I think you're immediately putting yourself at a disadvantage if you think that shyness is a weakness. It's not. It's a strength. Shyness means that you care. You want to take the time to be sure that you are willing to take a risk. That's not a bad thing, okay? Because I think the simple answer would be to just say, well, be bold, be brave, just get out there and go do it. And that's not right, because being shy is part of who you are. It's not a bad thing. So the first step I would take is own your shyness. Be proud of being shy. It's fine. My wife is shy, sometimes Veronica's shy. That is not a weakness. Get that through your head. It's not a weakness. So yeah, I don't know, because you're going to have to take some risks and get beyond your shyness to a certain extent. But I think it's just like, honestly, just saying hi to people at times, smiling at people. That doesn't take anyone that's overcome their shyness to smile. It doesn't take a lot of guts to do that. So just take little steps, but do not ever think that shyness is a weakness. All right, next question. My friend and I are creating a comic book universe. Do you think we can make it big? Of course you can. Go for it. Do it. 100%. How do you deal with bad friends of your kids, like with a bad influence? Okay, so I'm trying to understand what you're saying. So you're telling me that if my kids are hanging out with someone that's bad, it's really, really simple. You number one, as a parent, you got to know and understand who your kids are hanging out with. And if they're bad kids, then you do this. You say, the person you're hanging out with is a bad person, and they are going to destroy your life. They're going to affect it negatively, because no one lives in what I call a vacuum. No one lives in a vacuum. No one just goes through life and is unaffected by anyone else. That's just the way it is. So who you hang out with becomes who you are to a certain extent. I can tell you that Veronica and Vanessa have dealt with that. I personally have dealt with that. Even as an adult, attitudes and behaviors, if you hang out with those people long enough, they will affect you. So there you go. What you do if you're scared to stand up to a bully that isn't bullying me, how do you stop bullying when you can't stop it? So bullying is a big thing, and it's really hard. I think I've experienced it. We've all experienced it. I don't know if that's a better word, but for me, it's intimidation is what it is. It's people trying to intimidate you, trying to make you feel lesser than themselves. And so sometimes it's good to just laugh about it. Just go, right, whatever. And if they're physically threatening you, that's a completely different thing. But how to deal with bullying is, man, I'm not a professional. I'm not. But the way I would deal with a bully, if I had some good friends, I would say to them, hey, I'm getting bullied by this person. I need your help to help me stop it, because it's affecting me. Because it's hard to be a bully when there's masses of people saying, stop it. Stop being a bully. That's not right behavior. Peer pressure does work in positive ways when groups of people do it. It's hard to be an island. It's hard to just be the only one standing up for it. Just like I said about when guys are trying to stand up for women, other guys need to stand up with them at that exact moment and say, hey, yeah, I'm with this guy. Don't talk that way to other women. Same thing with bullying. I think it's going to take a group effort, honestly, to end it. So there you go. I mean, that's just my advice and opinion, but definitely go talk to a teacher or talk to a counselor if you're being bullied. All right. How long I've been helping Veronica, with YouTube for a very, very long time. What editing software do you use? I use Adobe Premiere. We use Final Cut Pro 10. I can use all of them, Adobe Premiere. I love that program. It's just different. It's different. How do you stop cyberbullying? Dude, I have no idea because we deal with it all the time. It's really, really, really hard. It's a fundamental, deeper issue because here's the thing about bullying, cyberbullying in general, is that it's people sitting behind a keyboard and typing on a keyboard, and they just feel so brave. It takes no bravery to type out something, some really heated message, and then hit return. And you probably hit that, take that. Because I've done it on Facebook before where I'm like, oh, yeah, we argue or whatever. And, I would never say that to the person's face. I would never do that. We would have a conversation. It wouldn't be like that. So I don't know. I do not know because people feel really, really empowered when they're sitting behind their computer, and there is absolutely zero consequence for them to just spout off whatever they want to say, call you whatever name they want. And it's a really, really hard thing to do because in the United States, we believe in freedom of speech, and, you can say what you want. And unfortunately, fortunately, if you say it to someone's face, there's usually repercussions. That person can respond. You can hear their inflections in their voices. You can tell if they're angry or if they're joking or whatever. But online, there is none of that. There's only impact on the person reading it. So I would say, if you can, try to ignore it. And it's really hard because a lot of people that cyberbully also go to your school and are doing it to you. So it affects the whole community that you're in. So I don't know. I just really don't know. It's a really, really tough one. Okay, what else? Anyone else have a question they would love to ask a dad and just need dad advice? Fake friends. Ah, yes, the old fake friends. Well, first of all, depending on your age, there's a lot of people who don't know how to be a good friend. So the first question you have to ask yourself when you say fake friends is, are you a fake friend? That's just it. Are you a fake friend? And if you're a fake friend, then you don't know how to be a good friend. Learn how to be a good friend first. Make sure that you're taking care of yourself first. And fake friends will fall like apples from a tree. They'll just disappear in your life. Because if you're real with yourself and you're honest with yourself and you're a good friends will find you. Good friends will find good friends. Good people find good people. I truly believe that. All right. How do you deal with, I didn't hear all that. How do you convince your parents to let you start your own YouTube channel? All right. This is easy, but not easy. All right. So first of all, I'm going to go back to the other thing. Your parents probably have a really good reason why they don't want you to start a YouTube channel. And it could be fear. It's probably fear more than anything else. So the first question I would ask you is, are you giving them reason to be fearful? In other words, to not trust you. Are you giving them reason to be that? Are you giving them reason to not trust you? Because that's what it comes down to. Being a parent is all about trusting your kids. That's the bottom line. So if your parents trust you, if you build trust with them, and you don't get mad at them when they say, you can't do that, there is a reason. There's a 100% reason why they don't want you to do that, okay? And it could be very, very legitimate, and is very legitimate, let me just say that. But it could also be out of a misperception. It also could be because you're not being a very good kid, you know? So be a good daughter, be a good son, and see if that helps, and have a conversation with them about it. Don't just go, oh, I want to start a YouTube channel. Oh, you won't let me. Oh, and then you can't expect results by just getting mad. You have to be able to explain yourself. Explain why you want a YouTube channel. Explain what you want to do and how it works. But most of all, be a good kid. That'll help you a lot. How do you get over being heartbroken? It feels like forever and it sucks. I wish I knew what to tell you other than this. I will tell you that first and foremost, above anything else, you need to guard your heart. You need to protect your heart, especially young women. Guard it as though not as though, it is the most precious thing you have, is your heart, your emotions, and who you are as a young woman. Guys don't deal with guys get over heartbreak much easier, but young women do not. It's different. It's completely different, because guys are wired different than girls. That's just the facts. It's just the way it is. It will always be that way. So my advice to you is be careful who you let into your life to break your heart. All right. Okay, what else? What about insecurity? Well, insecurity, what would I say about insecurity? Kind of depends on what you're being insecure about. If you're being insecure about like your body image, things like that, it's really hard in our society, in our world right now, with body image, because specifically with young women, it's because so many girls are just putting it out there. And you know what I mean by putting it out there. I mean, just like wham, and you just see, you just see everything. You're like, it's just there. And then we as young men, or as men, go, oh, that's what is perfect. And that's not really normal. The truth is that I have run into a lot of influencers who curate their Instagrams perfectly, and they look like just perfect fashion, whatever, and that's great. It's all well and good. But there's something, and I've been in production for a very long time, and I will use this example. I won't tell you who it is, but there was a famous artist years ago that I ran into. I worked with. We were doing a satellite media tour with her, and she was launching her career, her tour in Kansas City. And so she gets off her bus, she gets off, and all the guys are like, she's a very, very pretty person, pretty woman, and at least that's what everybody thought. She got off the bus, and I'm telling you, she looked so much different in person. But for some reason, when she got on camera, the camera absolutely loved her. It changed the way she looked. Okay? So I guess my point is this. It's my professional opinion as a videographer and as a filmmaker, as someone who has been in this business for a long time, that there are people that look completely awesome on camera, but do not look that awesome in person. That's what I'm trying to tell you, is that the camera tricks you, because some people have like overtly defined features that the camera just loves. Okay, but in real life, they don't look that good. Does that make sense? Because so what it is there's pixels in your camera, and there's light, and there's everything that's reflecting into the camera and all of that. And I'm telling you, it looks different. It just looks different. So, dad advice. What do you do if your parents don't support your career choice? Loaded question. That is a really, really hard one. Don't support your career choice. Well, I'll tell you a story. It depends on your career that you're going into. You know, I mean, it just does. It depends on what you're passionate about too. So I was pretty much a loser in high school. It's just the truth. I didn't do great in school. But through a series of events, I got my crap together my junior year in high school. I was like, I need to go to college. But my parents insisted that I go to a VOTech school, vocational technical school. And they wanted me to choose a career, a trade, a skill. So I went into welding. I took a welding class, and I became a certified welder by the time I graduated high school. But when I graduated high school, I really wanted to go to college. So I didn't take a job right out of high school, and I went to college, and I wanted to be an audio engineer after that. And I don't know if this is the best example, but I'm just telling you that I was so passionate about it that I convinced my parents that that's what I wanted to do. And had I not done that, I wouldn't have got into television and film production and all of that. So if it's something that you're really passionate about, when I say really passionate about, that means that you will do whatever it takes to be successful in that career, then you should go for it. I'm not telling you not to listen to your parents. You should take their advice. But you need to prove yourself that you're passionate about it. And that's something that you really, 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 really desire. Otherwise, you'll fail. You'll fail. All right. So, okay. There was something about anxiety earlier and dealing with anxiety. Man, if I just want to say, I don't want to minimize anyone's anxiety, all right? I don't want to. But what I want to say, how do your girls deal with anxiety? So I can talk about that a little bit. I don't want to speak for them, but I will tell you what I think is, and I've said this about depression, and I'll say this about anxiety. Life just happens to have anxiety in it. You will always have anxiety. But here's what I know, is that if somehow you can keep your head about you, when something comes up in your life, be calm. When there's an issue in your life, when you're dealing with stress or whatever, if you can just take a second, take a breath, step back from whatever situation that you're anxious about, look at it for what it is, and that in 100 years, no one's going to care about it, let it go, and deal with it in an effective way. And what I mean by that is there are people that react to a situation, and then there are people that respond to a situation. So if you are a reactionary person, you're going to be more anxious. So if something happens in your life and you just blow up, freaking out, oh my gosh, what just happened? That's not good. But if something happens in your life, take a beat, take a minute, take whatever, take a breath. Let's say it's a bully. Let's say it's whatever. Let's say you're dealing with a friendship issue. Take a breath. Don't react. Don't respond. When I say don't react, it means don't cuss someone out. Just don't. Don't do it because you want to. Fight every instinct in you. I'm not saying suppress your feelings. What I'm saying is manage your response. Make your response the thing, not a reaction, because reactions are usually based on emotion and feelings that are elevated. So take a beat, take a minute to realize what your surroundings are, and then respond. Don't react. A lot of people just react, and that's what causes more anxiety. So if you can just think about it just for a minute. Okay, I'm not going to die. Now, if you're in a dangerous situation, that's completely different. But, you know, if there's something going on in your life, take a minute. Think. Respond. It'll help. Do I have any tea on Michael Jackson? What the heck? No. Great advice, Paul. You're the best. So when you look into your glass, okay. Oh, when you see the glasses, you can almost read. Okay, that's funny. I just kind of answered the, how do you deal with money problems? Okay. Let me just talk to you about money. Because money, they say money is the root of all evil. And I would agree with that. But in your head, at least in my head, when I think about money, I think about people who spend money, who have so much money, they just think they have power and all of that stuff. So, managing your money, if you have money problems, okay, it doesn't matter how much money you have. Well, it does help to have money to live on. And if you live in a country it's really tough economically, there are all kinds of things that happen that are completely out of your control. So if you're in a situation like that, that's tough. That's not what I'm talking about. But if you're in a situation where you have a job, you're making money, know this. We as humans, at some point, all of us are going to die. At some point. So the time that you have on this earth, you invested in making money, right? So think of it this way. You put the time in, if you work and you put the time in to get that $1, that $1 represents your life. Okay? So you have that $1, you would protect your life, right? You would totally protect it. So why would you not protect your money? Why would you not want to be a better manager of your money? And I will confess that I've struggled with that even as an adult. It's really easy to just be like, oh, whatever, and just, rack up credit card debt, all that stuff. I've done that, and it's stupid. It's dumb. Because what it is you're giving into the have it now mentality. If you can't pay cash for it right now, don't go in debt for it. You can afford it later. You have to be patient with money. Be patient. Trust me, it pays off. You don't need it right now if you have to go into debt. If you have the money for it, you can afford it. If you don't have the money for it, you can't afford it. Now, I'm not talking about buying cars or houses, because no one can just go out. Very few people can go out and pay cash for a car or a house right now. You have to go in debt for those things. Big ticket items, little different. But getting that stereo, or you got to have the latest iPhone and you're going to charge it and do all that stuff, don't do that. Even before we started YouTube, we got ourselves debt-free. 100% debt-free. I have no credit cards, guys. None. Zero. No debt. So don't go into debt. If I can do it, you can do it. Okay, what is the key to becoming naturally funny? I have no idea. How do I deal with my parents breaking up? First of all, it makes me really sad. And, I don't know the situation at all. But know this. Both your parents, even if you don't feel it right now, both your parents love you immensely, and will always love you. Becoming a dad is like the greatest privilege in my life, and even if your parents are separated, they will always look at you and they're your daughter or son. That's just the way it is. It doesn't change that. Second thing I would say is that it's not your fault. It's never your fault as a kid. It's never your fault. How I would deal with it, I think being really, really honest with your parents, telling them it sucks what they're doing. I don't know the situation. The situation sucks. Be honest about it. Talk about it with them. Don't be afraid to talk about it with them. Because they're adults. They can handle it. You know, it sucks. And there's a lot of people that have, you know, unfortunately have gone through this, and it changes your opinion of marriage and things. But know this: it's always worth the risk to love someone, and you know, marriage is a fantastic, phenomenal thing. It's amazing. It really is. Next to being, the first greatest privilege in my life is being married to my wonderful wife. The second is to be a father. It's the greatest privilege ever. If YouTube and all that stuff goes away, that's not, I mean, it's a career. It's all of those things. It's great. Don't get me wrong. It's fantastic. But being a father, being a husband is the most important thing. I hope that helps you. I'm sorry. What's my favorite emoji? It's the laughing face emoji. What is this one? Okay, how could I tell my dads if someone asked me to go out with, and if he wants me, I don't understand, to be with me? Love you. I don't understand that question. I don't know. What if you have a friend that you have plans with, and none of your friends wants to hang out with you, and you want to hang out with them instead? What would you do? Go with your first friend. Sorry, go with your first friend. If you committed, go do it. Sorry, it's not cool. It's just not cool. If you made a commitment, follow through. Period. End of story. It sucks, but that's life. You know, there are jobs that I don't want to do at times, but I made a commitment. I follow through with it and do it. Be a person of your word. Keep your word. Sorry, you wanted advice from a dad. There you go. Okay. What do you call it? Oh, Count Capula. That's funny. All right, any other questions? Proudest dad moment of the twins. Every day. Every day. How do you get rid of a friend without hurting her feelings or starting a fight? Well, I would ask you this. Are you, number one, are you being a good friend? And are you worth her keeping in your life as her friend? If she's being a bad friend, I understand that. But ask yourself hard questions first. I know that it's not what you want to hear, but ask yourself, are you being a good friend? If you are not being a good friend, then maybe she doesn't want you in her life. So be a good friend. But if she's not being a good friend, then just walk away. Go find other friends, I guess. I mean, it's tough. What's the hardest and the coolest part about having twins? I don't know. And it's tough to be a parent. It's tough to be a parent. It doesn't matter. I mean, even at my age now, and the girls are 22, it's still tough to be a parent. It's tough to let go. It's hard. I forgot the other part, but that's what I was saying. How can I tell my dads? Okay, how can I tell my dads if I have a boyfriend and they don't know yet? I don't have a boyfriend, but that's for future. Okay, all right. This is a good question, and I will tell you the best thing you can do. The number one thing you can do is go, if you, I mean, you say you don't have a boyfriend now. All right. The number one thing you could do is you should go to your dad right now and start talking about boys you like right now. Like literally go right now and do that. Ask his advice, because there is no greater expert on guys in your life than your dad. And there's no one in your life that will be more honest with you about guys than your dad. So do not be afraid. Trust me, your dad is probably more afraid to talk to you about guys than you are. So go talk to him about it. Go ask him questions. Go ask him this one. Dad, how will I know when I find the right guy? That's the question you ask. And see what he says. All right. What should I do if my friend is being utterly obnoxious and annoying? Well, just don't put yourself through that. You know, tell him, number one, you're being utterly obnoxious and annoying, and just make sure you're not being utterly obnoxious and annoying. My friends are always talking about my back. I've been friends with them for years, and it's so hard to confront them about it. They've been doing this for months. It's putting a lot of stress on me. I feel your pain. I don't know. I mean, I do know, but if your friends are talking behind your back, they're not really all that great of friends. And I don't know your exact situation. You know, if you've been friends with them for a long time, which it says you had, talk to them one-on-one. Talk to them by themselves, not together as a group. And just sit them down. Remind them of how much you appreciate their friendship. You know, and want your friendship in their life, your life. But there are some things that have been happening lately that kind of make me question that. And I just want to talk to you about it. Don't want to yell, don't want to argue. Again, you're going to respond, not react. If you listened earlier, respond, not react. Always respond, not react. Okay. Advice how to get into college. Really, really simple. You get good grades. It's just really simple. What college did the twins go to? I can't tell you. Who's acquired when Ronnie or Nessa? It just depends on any situation. I just woke up and what do you do if I have a friend that wants to hang out with you? Okay, that one I kind of answered. How do you avoid overthinking? Because it's been my problem since I was 9 or 10. Okay, so number one, overthinking is actually not a weakness. What is it saying? I only have 1 minute and 50 seconds remaining. It only gives you like a certain amount of time. Geez, that's a lot of pressure. No, I don't want to end. What just happened? Okay, whatever. What was the question? Oh, overthinking. You can tell I'm not an overthinker. Okay, overthinking. First of all, it's not a weakness because you're a critical thinker, right? Critical thinking is great. It's good. It's good to overthink. You have to get beyond the fear of just making a decision and going for it. So think about it. Be able to make a decision and absolutely go for it. Failure is not a weakness. Do not be afraid to fail. Period. So there you go. That's my advice. It's interesting. It says it's gonna end. It says my thing is gonna end. Is there like a limit that you can do in live broadcasting? So anyway, there you go. Touch your hat if you should. No. Got any tips on the cool hat you like? Don't go. I'm trying not to. It's literally saying 30 seconds remaining. Let me see what happens. 20 seconds left. It's saying I got 20 seconds before it ends. Well, if you heard anything I said, try it. Try listening to it and doing it. I'm just trying to give you some advice. Hopefully it helped. All right, so I think it's going to hang up now here in just like 5 3,